And you're live, Evelyn.
Yeah, it's coming. I'm live.
Yeah,
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Evelyn Aka, a Canadian and NAFTA U.S. immigration lawyer and founder of Aka Business Immigration Law. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most common questions we receive. As a Canadian, how can I legally move to the United States? Whether you're looking to go to the United States for work, to start a business, expand an existing company, or pursue permanent residence or relocate your family there are several immigration options available to Canadians who want to move to the United States. One of the main advantages Canadians have is that there are certain immigration pathways available specifically because of our close relationship with the United States under the USMCA, the US-Mexico-Canada Agreement. Today, I'm going to provide a high-level overview of the most common pathways Canadians use to live and work in the United States. We're going to start with pathway number one, the TN professional visa category. We use the TN visa, the Treaty NAFTA visa, almost every day. It is the first and often smoothest option for Canadians that are qualified for the TN visa. The TN visa was created under the North American Free Trade Agreement, which continues under the USMCA, as it allows eligible Canadian citizens to work in the US in certain professional occupations. Some examples of these professions include accountants, engineers, computer systems analysts, scientists, university professors, and healthcare professionals. To qualify, you generally need a Canadian citizenship, a US job offer, a profession that is listed under the USMCA, and licensing credentials for that profession. One major advantage of the TN is it can be done directly at the port of entry, entering the United States on the Canadian side. Canadians do not have to go to the US consulate. This is meant to be a temporary non-immigrant visa, and it can be valid for 3 years. Another pathway is the E2 treaty. This is an investor visa. For entrepreneurs and business owners, the E2 Treaty Investor Visa is often one of the most attractive options. Because Canada is a treaty country with the US, Canadian citizens can apply for E2 status if they make a substantial investment in a US business that will actively be directed and managed by them, usually $150,000 or more. There is no fixed minimum investment, but generally we say 150,000 US is what is considered substantial enough to qualify for the E2 visa. The investor must have control and direct the enterprise that they're looking to grow and establish in the US. Many Canadian entrepreneurs use the E2 visa to purchase an existing US business or launch a new business that's theirs, and the visa can be renewed for as long as the business continues to qualify. One important point, the E2 is not a direct green card pathway either, although some investors later transition to other permanent residence options. Pathway number three is the E1 Treaty Trader Visa. This is another visa option that many Canadians are not familiar with. It is the E1 Treaty Trader. And like the E2, it is available because Canada and the United States have a qualifying treaty relationship with the United States. The E1 is designed for individuals or businesses engaged in substantial trade between the US and Canada. The trade can involve such things as goods, services, technology, banking, insurance, transportation, tourism, communications, etc. A key requirement is that more than 50% of the international trade conducted by the business must be between the US and Canada. And the applicant must also be coming to the United States to engage in duties of an executive, supervisor, or essential employee capacity. The E1 can be an excellent option for Canadian companies already selling products and goods in the United States, service-based businesses with significant US clients, and manufacturers importing or exporting goods across the border, such as logistics and transportation companies. The E1 and E2 are valid for 5 years each, and they are non-immigrant visas. It does not directly lead to green card again. However, it can be renewed indefinitely as long as the qualifying trade continues and the business remains eligible. One advantage is that the E1 often requires less capital investment than the E2 because the focus is on trade volume rather than investment amount, investment finances. And for many established Canadian businesses already doing business with the US customers, the E1 may be a better fit than the E2. Pathway number 4, the L1, which is one of my favorites. It's called the Intercompany Transfer Visa. If you already own or work for a company in Canada, the L1 visa may be an excellent option for you. The L1 allows a company to transfer executives, managers, or specialized knowledge employees from a Canadian office to a related U.S. entity. So long as they've worked for the Canadian entity for at least 12 months in a specialized or executive managerial capacity, they can qualify. The path is commonly used by business owners expanding into the US, Canadian companies opening American operations, or executives overseeing cross-border growth. Unlike the E2, the L1 is often part of a longer-term strategy that may lead to permanent residence through the EB1C, Multinational Manager Corporation. Pathway number 5. This is the extraordinary ability and self-petition options. For highly accomplished individuals, there may be options that do not require employer sponsorship. These include the O1 visa for individuals with extraordinary ability in business, science, education, athletics, or the arts. The EB1A extraordinary ability is a green card category for individuals with sustained national or international recognition. The EB2 National Interest Waiver allows certain professionals, entrepreneurs, researchers, and experts to self-petition for permanent residence when their work benefits the United States. These pathways are becoming increasingly popular among entrepreneurs, executives, researchers, healthcare professionals, and technology leaders. Pathway number 6 is green card through investment. For individuals seeking permanent residence through investment, the EB5 Immigrant Investor Program may be an option. Unlike the E2, the EB5 is an immigrant category that can lead directly to lawful permanent residence for the investor, their spouse, and qualifying children. This pathway requires a significantly larger investment. $800,000 US currently is the investment, and it has to have specific job creation requirements. It is best suited for high net worth individuals seeking a direct path to a green card. Some family considerations for you to think about. Many people ask, can my spouse and children come with me? In most employment and investor visa categories, the answer is yes. Spouses and dependent children are often eligible to accompany the principal applicant. Although work authorization rules vary depending on the visa category, for immigrant pathways such as EB5 and many employment-based green card categories, qualifying family members may also obtain permanent residence, which is really exciting. Common mistakes Canadians make? Let's talk about this. The most common mistake I see include assuming a TN visa automatically leads to a green card. It does not. Choosing a visa before understanding the long-term goals or impacts of that visa. Expanding a business without a proper immigration strategy or corporate and tax strategy. Believing investment alone guarantees U.S. permanent residence, or waiting too long to plan for permanent residence while on temporary status, meaning you'll need to extend your temporary status. The best immigration strategy aligns with both your immediate short-term needs and your long-term goals. The good news is that Canadians have several excellent options for moving to the United States. Whether you're accepting a professional position, starting a business, expanding a Canadian company to the U.S., or investing in the U.S., or pursuing permanent residence in other ways, there may be a pathway that fits your precise goals. Every situation is different and unique, and immigration planning is most successful when done proactively. Thank you for joining me today on our LinkedIn Live. We'd love to see you every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. If you have any questions at all, please contact me and our amazing team at ACA Business Immigration Law. We'd love to help you determine the best immigration option strategy for you and your family to move to the United States. Thank you. Take care.